Hello boys and girls from the Elite, Gregor here on Her Majesty's Secret Service, and I recently got Cradle Agent 34, which is pretty amazing. I spent about 15 hours in December and about 8 hours the last 2 days, and I duped around 18 35s. One of them with the old strat grenade kill, which was pretty amazing. And yeah, now I'm going to do a little live commentary, not really live, but whatever, and then go into a second round with a lot of pauses in the video, and explain all the things, the knowledge that I acquired in the course of grinding for 34. Yeah, and maybe it will help you to get 34 yourself. And this will be targeted more towards the people that already have 35 or 35 knowledge at least, and not at total beginners who just want to get a 37 or 36 or something. Okay, let's watch it. Yeah, needless to say, I'm fucking pumped watching this one again. Painful death on the far guard, looking up to Trev. No guard from the left side, so I can go left strafe, and looking a lot at Trev here usually. Very fast Trev. And again, very fast Trev to the heart. Good entry, hit him, good lines, very good console boost. Fairly smooth kill, but which is more important, a good leave of the second spot. And a very tight ending. I knew I had to do the very tight ending. Because from observing all the paces over the hours, I knew it had a shot at 34 with a good ending. And yeah, here it is. Woo, 34! And if you're going to hate on my run, saying it looks like a 36 or something, then you're obviously clueless. Do your homework on Cradle Agent and keep in mind that an insane Trev kill is really not the crucial thing for 34 speed, and my kill kind of looks like I'm going forward speed only, but it's not true, and I had a very fast Trev, a good entry, a good console boost, which is totally not a given, good lines overall, fair, smooth kill, and what's more important than an insane Trev kill is the turn after the Trev kill and the ending of course, and my run had all of it, and there's no denying that it was good. Okay, and let's go to round 2 and watch it with pauses and go into all the details. Because with all that little details in place, I developed a feeling that I can get 34 like anytime soon, and before that I was just noobing around, and yeah. So details are important. First of all, I want to talk about the start. Before, I thought that the start is pretty irrelevant all the time from the start to when you reach your waiting spot in front of the shed. But now I think that the fast starts, doing consistently fast starts, is extremely important, because you want to reach that waiting spot fast. You want to even with insane Trev speed, you want to have a little bit of preparation time to prepare a consistent great hard entry, and what's maybe even more important is, not for speed but for completions, is killing that fucking guard in the heart. You can kill him in the waiting spot when you're shooting to the left side of the door, because he will screw you up a lot. And another thing I want to talk about are looking angles. I developed procedures for looking angles, which are pretty, not really obvious, but nothing new. But the paradigm I use is from Cradle Agent, where people look at Natalia as long as possible, so she doesn't screw up her lines when she leaves. And you probably know that RTA Natalia strat, where you wait at the stairs until she goes up the stairs on the other side. And so I'm looking at Trev as much as I can, so he doesn't screw up his lines, and with a little exceptions that I will explain later. Okay, time to finally go into the run. I kill the first far guard with 5 bullets usually, because it's very annoying when he survives. I'm looking up so that the upper catwalk is on the lower end of my screen. And here's a pretty irrelevant but interesting fact, that when you are going up up that catwalk, you will always see the far Trev going down the ramp right in the middle of this triangle that you see up there. And you can kind of judge runs where you started going forward late or touched the rail too much, and in very rare cases, I think, but I'm not sure, Trev will spin on the first guard or something and will be slow there already, and when you witness that, when he's not in that triangle, you can restart the run, but that is really maybe a 1% thing. It's irrelevant. But a more important thing is that now you could think that you could look down, because when you look down, you would see Trev going down that ramp, and like I explained before, that should help, but in this case it doesn't help, because there's a guard coming up that ramp, and there will be collision detection when you look at that scene, and they will start spinning like the idiots they are. And when you sufficiently look up, there will be no collision detection, and Trev will warp through that guard, and he will be fast, but not fast, but he will not be terrible. You can do, I think, 100% prevention of very bad Trevs that way when you look up enough there. And what's interesting in that next pause pick is you don't see anything here, but in like 50% of the cases, there will be a guard coming from the left side, which you will see with white screen, and then you know whether there will be 1 or 2 guards at that T-junction up there, and you can act accordingly. I see no guard, so I do left strafe only up on the upper catwalk and look at Trev as much as possible. And if there would have been a guard, I would have known it beforehand and aimed at him from a distance and killed both guards. But this case is better because you can look more at Trev, and I think it helps. I don't know it, I didn't do statistical tests. Now here's the first important checkpoint for Trevelyan speed, and this is what you want to see. I'm very fast to that point, have been strafing all the time, and I'm at the top of that ramp, and Trev is already in the middle of the stairs. It can hardly get better than that. This is very fast Trev speed, and if he's on top of the first stairs, you probably want to quit out for 34 speed, but it's pretty evident that even a not so fast Trev can get 34. You can watch the video of David Clemens on the ranks, which is his dupe of 34, the world record, with right strafe kill, which is an excellent run, which is pretty obvious when you get the world record with bad RNG. And when Trevelyan is on the top of that platform, in the center of that platform, you had that spinning action happening, which I explained before, which means you didn't look up enough. And I'm 90% sure this is true, and this is always the cause of a very bad Trev. And at that point, you obviously want to have a second gun and quit out if you don't. And if the only option to get the second gun was the far guard at the T-junction, which I didn't get, but if you get that second guard and he's the only way to get the second gun, I would quit out as well. You can go there and grab the gun and then charge the hard, but the chances of getting 34 with an uncontrolled hard entry are really marginal. You don't want to do that. Okay, now just strafe down that ramp and go to your waiting spot without doing anything horrible. Okay, and now you arrived at your waiting spot, and this is where the fun really begins, and you want to do that very well-known trick where you reload both guns at the same time and start shooting, so they are completely synchronized and shoot 2 bullets at the same frame, so you can apply more damage to Trevelyan at each spot, which should be known. But you also want to do a couple of other things. Very important is that guard in the hut, which is a very, very annoying dude. You want to kill him by shooting on the left side of the door, and this should work most of the time. This guard isn't really much of a disturbance when you're going for 35 or 36, because you go in just straight and kill the guard as well and shoot Trev and whatever. But for 34 you want to do a crooked entry to the door, which I will explain later. And the guard will either drag the auto aim. You want to play with auto aim because of the start. Makes it very convenient. You will either pull the auto aim on him and you will not hurt Trevelyan, or you or he will function as a meat shield. He will stand in front of Trevelyan, you can't hurt him. Or you don't hit him at all, but he gives you some fucked up boost and your run is over. You want to kill that guard. It makes everything a lot easier. And yeah, that should work most of the time. And then you want to do the hut entry. And the way I think of it is that there is a loading zone in front of the door, which triggers that you approach the hut, and you cannot enter it before Trevelyan activated the console. And I think of it as some kind of a triangle in front of the door that expands more to the right side. So you can actually do faster entries when you come from the side. This is also the zone you don't want to touch when you're doing the suicide strat. And I think I did that very well, not perfectly. The guy that should know best is Henrik Norgren. He did 34 a couple of weeks ago, and he did a perfect hard entry, which was really great. And he's the TAS guy. He should really know how these zones look like, and yeah, just watch his video. And my entry was very good as well. He was 1 or 2 video frames faster, but mine is decent as well. And now we enter the hut and change to slow motion from here on. And as you can see, you only have a very short period of time to hit Trevelyan there. And it's only 3 or 4 video frames where you have the possibility to do so. Because you are going for a world record and there's not much time for fucking around. You want to get a good line to the console, and if you cannot lose speed or go too much forward, because then you will have to do an awkward line to the console. So that's why you just briefly shoot in his direction and hope that you hit him, and immediately turn towards the console. You see in this pause screen that I already turned towards the console, and this is the first possible frame, I think, where this is possible, because the left side of the entry door has an awkward geometry, and you get stuck there a lot if you turn a little bit too early. So you want to do an early turn there and take a good line to the console. So just as a side note, hitting Trevelyan in the hut is not so trivial on 34 pace. I had a couple of runs which I think that were 34 pace, decent ones, and I double headshotted Trev at the second spot, but he survived, so that happens. And now we head towards the console, and the console is a hard thing to master, because it should blow up right when you arrive there. If you blow it up too early, it will back boost you, and if you blow it up too late, see Ace's run, which it had a very bad console, then you will lose, obviously, time. And another thing that is important is that I want to do a right strafe Trev kill, because I think it's the fastest strat, and you want to use the boost of the console to do that strafe change, so you don't lose time in the strafe change. And it's hard to master the line after the boost, because an average console boost sucks. So you develop muscle memory and memory overall for an average console boost which sucks. And when you get a very good one, you will probably get stuck on the door because you turn too late, because you're not used to it. And then maybe you'll start to overcommit and turn too early, which also sucks, because that machine in the middle of the hut is dangerous. When you touch it, you lose speed. If you want to see an example of that, you can watch my 36 on the ranks, where I touch the console and you lose speed and lose a couple of tens probably. So you definitely don't want that to happen on 34 speed. And a good boost should boost you right at the end of the machine, and you have a very little time frame to do the turn to the door. So that's mastering that line takes quite a while on a very good console boost, which is crucial for 34. Okay, now hopefully you got boosted by the console as far as I did, and get through that exit door without getting stuck on anything, most notably the machine. And now comes the moment of truth, where you want to kill that sucker. And I want to talk about that a little bit, because I think the the Trev kill is the most overrated thing when people think about the world record and Cradle Agent. In my opinion, it is not really important as long as you do a smooth kill in full speed. You don't need an insane kill like boss or somebody at all. What's more important is the turn after Trevelyan. Just think about it of this passage as some agent level where Trev isn't even there. Imagine he's not there and you just want to go to the exit as fast as possible. You want to do the turn sharp, very sharp. So your state of mind should not be, oh my god, how do I kill Trev? How do I do it? I hope I can make it. It should be, I will shoot a little bit in his direction, and but my main focus is to do a very good turn, because that will save the time that is needed to get 34, hopefully. Yeah, and one thing about reloading your guns, do not do it too early, because when you do it too early, you close the exit door. I didn't realize that for a while. I thought, why are my guns not reloading? Is it because of the lag or something? It's just because you're pressing B next to the door. And back to the things that really matter, like I said, the turn after the kill is very important, and just as long as you don't do something very horrible during the Trev kill, like losing speed or something, or being way too far to the right or something. I don't think that the Trev kill is that important as long as it is smooth and in full speed. I hold right strafe all the time. I run a bit against the right rail, but don't lose speed that way, and I don't lose anything that way. I think it's not needed to do a complete full strafe kill. And that's also the turn. The importance of the turn is also why, in my opinion, the right strafe strat is better. Because nowhere else in GoldenEye would anyone say that a 180-degree turn in left strafe is a better option than a strafe change from right to left. And when you do the console boost very well, the strafe change in the HUD doesn't matter as well, I think. I'm not 100% sure, but it's my impression. And so as long as you can kill Trev smoothly, it's all good. In my run, Trev wasn't insanely fast to the second spot. That's why I got more to the right side. But as you can see in that pause picture, which is important about that picture is that you see I just killed Trevelyan, but the only thing that matters is that I'm already doing the left turn. You see the rail of the turn on the left side of my screen, and I'm already turning towards that rail, and I'm doing a very good turn in my opinion. It could have been better, but I would have needed an insane Trevelyan so that I can kill him early from higher from the ramp, and I can align with the left side. What's also interesting is that Carl had an even slower draft to the second spot, and so he had to kill Trevelyan very late, but he still managed to get around that turn, around that corner very well, and yeah, he ended up with the world record. Okay, now Trev is dead, I have his assault rifle, and I'm heading towards the ending, and I had a feeling that this could be 34 because I'm watching music paces when I'm going past that second shadow that you see on the floor. And if you are, there's a music change to this, and when that music change happens when you are already on the second shadow, then you can get 34 with an amazing ending, I think, but I'm not too sure because this is actually the only PAL video of the world record, because Ace and Henrik had either no music or that music change when that finish the job thing happens. So I can't really tell. And I also had to synchronize my sound, so maybe my music checkpoints are worthless. But yeah, who knows. And because I knew that I had a great console boost, great draft, great entry and everything, a great turn, this could be 34 if I risk the ending. And the ending is very key too, because you can lose a lot of time there if you do not do that turn sharp. And there's also more to it. You see that I am touching the floor when I'm already at the door, which is after the stairs. if you do a bad turn there, you will land on the lower staircase, and then you will bounce off that staircase, and I think it loses even more time. You can watch my 36 on the rankings. It had a bad ending, which lost maybe 0.3 or something, and also a little hole stuck. So yeah, I did it in a fashion that I knew I had a 50% chance to do it that sharp without getting stuck or anything, and it turned out very well. And the hole went fluently as well. You see, the hole can be a bitch too. Luke knows about that. You can watch his video for 42 or whatever it was, and yeah, 34. That's how it happens. And if you will ever end up in the situation where you have a low 35 and think, oh my god, why was this not 34? The run was perfect. Your checklist should always be, did I everything right? Did I do everything right? Did I have a fast Trev, a very fast Trev? If you have an average Trev, you cannot insist on getting the world record. Did I do a good line in the hut, which means did I shoot Trevelyan and immediately back off towards the console? Did I get a good console boost, which means the console boosted me right to the end of the machine, or was it just a lame ass average boost? Then did you do a smooth Trevelyan kill, and did you get around that corner very nicely, and did you get around that corner at the ending very nicely? And if all of those are given, which is the case in my run, then 34 is pretty straightforward. But these are, I don't know if I counted right, but I think 6 conditions, and getting a run where all these 6 conditions are fulfilled, it can take a while. But if you really have a fast Trevelyan and a good entry and a good boost and do everything well, then 34 doesn't need an insane run. It just needs to be all in place, I think, and that's why I got it. So the video is already 22 minutes long, so I will stop now. Shout out to everyone who actually watched the whole thing, and I hope that it helps someone getting his own world record on Cradle Agent. Have a nice day.